I'm going to start off with my Margarita slash fancy limemade cookie cutter. And I'm going to use two different colors for this. I'm going to use my white and my green. The first thing that I'm going to do is outline the lime. And the reason why I'm going to do this is it'll help me when I outline in the white. What I want to do is have my lime going down into my glass. So instead of starting from that top corner, I'm just going to start from the inside and then get a nice little outline going around the circle. And one of the things that you'll notice when I decorate is I try not to let the tip of my icing bag touch my cookie. The reason for that is if you're able to lift the icing up off the cookie while you let it drop down onto it, it gives you a nice puffy line or outline. You can see that holds your icing in. That way it doesn't go sliding off the edges. It also makes for just a nice look to it. So now that I have my lime outlined, I'm going to go ahead and outline the rest of the glass. And I'm going to start right here in this top right corner. I'm going to touch my icing bag down on the cookie, squeeze just a little, and using a gentle pressure, I'm going to squeeze the bag while I let that icing fall on my cookie. When you reach a corner, that's always a good place to stop. Sometimes you'll find that you are holding your breath while you're outlining your cookie. So if you see a corner, just set the icing down, take a deep breath, and then get back to it. So I'm going to start where we left off. I'm going to squeeze, lift my bag up, and let the icing fall onto my cookie. And I'm going to outline the top of the glass first. This just gives it a little more definition. Then I'm going to stop in that corner there. And I'm going to come back to the upper left corner. And I'm going to bring it across and connect there in the corner. Okay. So what this does is it leaves an empty space up on the top. I'm going to fill in my drink down here. And then now I'm going to come in and outline the bottom. And then I'll fill in that section in a little bit. The toothpick is a great tool. When you're connecting corners of icing, sometimes you'll get a little bit that sticks up, and you can always use the tip of the toothpick to just push that back down. You can also use this, you'll see me do it in a second, when you swirl icing on your cookie. It helps move the icing to places that might have some empty spots. So now I'm going to come back and fill in the bottom of my glass. And I'm just going to follow the outline that I did and work my way towards the middle. So I'm squeezing with more pressure now because I want to get enough icing to fill in that inside, but also give it a little bit of a poofy look. So I'm going to use this toothpick to swirl the icing so it reaches all the corners and gives it a nice flat finish. Now I'm going to fill in my lime, and I'm going to do a two-step process here. I'm going to fill it in with the green, and then I'm going to come back and add some lines using my white just to give my lime a little bit of interest. So same process here. I'm going to follow the outside outline. There you go. Then I'm going to take my white, and one of the things you might see me doing is I'll take my bag of icing and just wipe off the tip on a paper towel. That way I'm not dropping little bits of icing onto parts of my cookie where I maybe don't want that icing to go. So I'm going to work from this little center point here, and I'm just going to add some white lines so that I have a little bit of a segment on my lime. And then I'm going to take my green again. Now that my white outline has had just a little bit of a chance to set, now I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. And don't worry if your green in this right corner touches your green lime. We're not done with this cookie yet. We're going to give it a chance to dry. And once that happens, we're going to use our little extra credit powdered sugar to do something fun with this. So what I'm doing here is I used my toothpick to lift up the cookie from the bottom so that I don't jab my fingers into the side of it. I'm going to carefully lift it off the table, and I'm going to give it just a gentle shake and a few taps to help settle that icing in. And I'm going to set this cookie out of my work zone so it doesn't get messed up, and we'll come back to it a little later.